It's Thursday, the 5th of June. Welcome to the PDB Afternoon Bulletin. I'm Mike Baker, your eyes and ears on the world stage, and still on the road from somewhere. Let's get briefed. First, in his latest immigration crackdown, President Trump signs a proclamation banning the citizens of 12 countries from traveling to the U.S., citing grave national security threats. Later in the show, Israel is reportedly arming the new militia openly challenging Hamas's dominance in southern Gaza in a bid to further erode Hamas's hold over the enclave. Because, well, things in Gaza apparently weren't difficult enough as is. But first, today's afternoon spotlight. In a return to a defining immigration policy from his first term, President Trump issued a sweeping proclamation on Wednesday banning travel from a dozen countries that the White House argues pose major national security risks to the U.S. The travel ban proclamation applies to 12 countries, largely from the Middle East and Africa, and also introduces more limited travel restrictions on 7 other nations. As of Monday, the 9th of June, all citizens of Afghanistan, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Myanmar, formerly known as Burma, Chad, the Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, and Haiti will be completely barred from entering the U.S. Meanwhile, citizens from Venezuela, Cuba, Burundi, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, and Turkmenistan will be barred from permanently immigrating to the U.S. They'll also be blocked from applying for tourist or student visas, though they'll still be eligible for other temporary visas, such as H-1B temporary work visas. That's according to a report from the Wall Street Journal. Critically, the new order states that any visas issued before the 9th of June will not be revoked, meaning those already in the U.S. from the affected countries can stay. But officials warn that if they travel outside the U.S. following the order's implementation, they risk getting stuck abroad. The travel ban also has a carve-out for any nationals of the affected countries who currently hold green cards and anyone traveling to the U.S. for upcoming sporting events, such as the 2026 World Cup. The White House offered a number of justifications for the sweeping bans and restrictions, arguing the identified countries lack sufficient vetting and screening processes needed to detect foreign nationals who may pose safety or terrorism threats to the U.S. In compiling the list, the administration also weighed a country's information sharing policies, visa overstay rates, whether citizens who are sent back are readily accepted, and the harboring of known terrorist groups. Ultimately, President Trump said it was a matter of national security. In a statement on Wednesday, Trump said, quote, "We will not allow people to enter our country who wish to do us harm," adding, quote, "We cannot have open migration from any country where we cannot safely and reliably vet and screen those who seek to enter the U.S." The ban had reportedly been under consideration for some time. Trump noted that on his first day back in office, he ordered the State Department to perform a security review of, quote, high-risk regions and make recommendations on potential travel restrictions. The terror attack on a crowd of peaceful pro-Israel demonstrators in Colorado on Sunday reportedly prompted Trump to fast-track the decision. Most of the impacted countries have remained quiet on the new bans and restrictions, though officials in Somalia immediately pledged to work with the U.S. to address any security issues. Allies of Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro, however, were none too pleased with the restrictions, lashing out by calling the U.S. government a fascist state. Maduro and his allies, as with any good fascists, have no sense of irony or self-awareness. Venezuela's interior minister warned citizens to avoid travel to the U.S., calling it a big risk and accusing the Trump administration of baseless persecution. Predictably, Democratic lawmakers were quick to clutch their pearls over Trump's new proclamation, accusing the Trump administration of pursuing immigration policies rooted in, quote, bigotry and hatred. President Trump issued similar travel restrictions during his first term that banned citizens from 7 Muslim-majority nations. It set off a firestorm of controversy and legal challenges at the time, but was eventually upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court in 2018. But former President Biden repealed that ban in 2021, which, among others, it involved Iran, Libya, Somalia, Syria, and Yemen, calling it a, quote, stain on our national conscience. All right, coming up next, Israel is reportedly arming the new militia that's challenging Hamas's hold over southern Gaza. I'll be right back. Hey, Mike Baker here. Let me take just a few seconds of your time to talk about your personal finances and your hard-earned savings and how to protect them. Look, did you know that in the last 12 months, gold's value has jumped 30%? It's true. And central banks, well, they're buying gold in record amounts. Look, with the usual ups and downs in the stock market and general uncertainty over the global economy and trade wars and those pesky BRICS nations pushing hard to replace the US dollar as the global reserve currency, it's no wonder that thousands of Americans are turning to Birch Gold Group, because in times of uncertainty, gold can offer peace of mind. Birch Gold makes it easy to convert your IRA or your 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. Or, like a lot of folks, you can buy gold to store at home. Just text PDB to the number 989-898, and Birch Gold will send you a free information kit on gold. There's no obligation, it's just useful information. With an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, take control of protecting your savings today. Text PDB to the number 989-898. Welcome back to the Afternoon Bulletin. The emergence of a clan-backed militia in southern Gaza, just became more complicated, as Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu approved arming the group in a move that bypassed his security cabinet. According to Israeli defense sources, Netanyahu gave the green light for security forces to supply weapons, some of them seized from Hamas, to fighters loyal to Yasser Abu Shabab. His faction, known as the Popular Forces, operates out of Rafah, in territory that's under Israeli military control, and the group has been described by some as a security outfit, and by others, including Hamas, as a criminal gang. The move had been kept under wraps until Israel's military censor cleared it for publication, and its implications go far beyond tactics. What's unfolding is the quiet establishment of a rival power base, one Jerusalem is betting can outmaneuver, outgun, and outlast Hamas. As we reported in Wednesday's Afternoon Bulletin, Abu Shabab's fighters declared that East Rafah had been, quote, cleansed of Hamas and was now under their control. His men appear in full uniform, bearing Palestinian flag patches and counterterrorism unit insignias, and are urging residents to return home with promises of food and protection. Netanyahu's decision to arm the group underscores a broader strategy to cultivate post-Hamas alternatives in Gaza that can deliver basic security and aid where Hamas has failed or obstructed. But the effort hasn't gone unnoticed. Hamas has accused Abu Shabab of looting aid convoys, and before the revelation of arming the group, had hinted that he was working with Israel. And that's an accusation that now seems less like paranoia and more like a glimpse of what's to come. Meanwhile, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, GHF, that's a joint U.S. and Israeli-backed group that delivers aid directly to civilians, has resumed operations after a brief pause to address security concerns. Aid is now being distributed from a new site after the closure of the old hub near the so-called Swedish village on the enclave's southern coast. The reopening follows a media firestorm sparked by reports sourced exclusively to Hamas's health ministry. As we've been tracking this week, the media claims the IDF massacred Palestinians attempting to reach aid. There was no video and no corroboration outside of Hamas sources. GHF said it never happened. Surveillance footage, backed them up. But by then, the Western headlines had already taken on a life of their own, as they tend to. Dozens dead, hundreds wounded, and another alleged Israeli atrocity. What GHF represents is something that Hamas fears, not just aid, but a working model that cuts them out of the equation entirely. The food comes with no humiliation, no party loyalty, and no oversight from Gaza's ruling faction. That's what makes it dangerous to the Iranian-backed terror group. The same is true of the Popular Forces, the militia. Both the GHF and this emergent militia have begun to undercut Hamas's narrative of indispensability. Now, whether the idea of arming the militia in an effort to push Hamas aside is sound long-term strategy, or whether they'll just be creating another problem that will need to be dealt with down the road, that's anyone's guess. But just when you thought that the Israeli-Hamas conflict couldn't get any more complicated, it's gotten more complicated. And that, my friends, is the PDB Afternoon Bulletin for Thursday, the 5th of June. Now, if you have any questions or comments, please reach out to me at pdb@thefirsttv.com. And of course, to listen to the show ad-free, you can do that, Just become a premium member of the President's Daily Brief by visiting pdbpremium.com. Also, remember, take a minute out of your busy day, if you get a chance, to check out our YouTube channel. You can find that at President's Daily Brief. I'm Mike Baker. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, stay informed, stay safe, stay cool. Hey, Mike Baker here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to report that it is officially grilling season. That's right. If you haven't fired up your grill, you've now got permission to do so. And look, if your grill could talk, right, well, that'd be weird, but if your grill could talk, it'd probably say something like, hey, how about some better beef, right? How about you stop throwing that supermarket mystery meat on me? Get something better. Well, I'm going to tell you where to get that better beef, and it's where I buy my beef. It's Tri-Tails. That's right. Tri-Tails beef is a legit fifth-generation family-run ranch in Texas. It's not some big-box meat factory. They deliver pasture-raised, grain-finished black Angus beef right to your front door. And now, in honor of Memorial Day, they're knocking $20 off their ribeye and New York strip specials. And when you head over to trybeef.com/PDB, they'll toss in 2 free flat iron steaks. There's no strings, there's no middlemen, just delicious cuts of beef delivered right to your door. So, stock up the freezer and treat your grill and your taste buds with a little respect. That's trybeef.com/PDB.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and leave a comment, a really positive, nice, and kind comment. That would be appreciated. And if you're not already subscribed to our channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our daily updates.